Joining us on this historic day as we send a message to families all over New York State and New York City that we have heard you. And we have a plan to respond to one of your greatest financial needs, and that is child care. Could not be happier to partner with our mayor on the job for 8 days, Mayor Mamdani, and the vision he set forth for this city and what he had hoped to do is becoming realized as well, building on what we're doing across the state. But I want him to know, and all of you to know, that he has a strong partner in the state of New York. Mayor, anything you want to add?
No, I would just say that this is a day that many working families have been dreaming of for years, if not decades. And I'm so thankful to the partnership and the leadership of Governor Hochul in the two of us together making this a reality. It is going to be the difference for so many families in whether or not they can stay in this city or they have to leave this city. Because today, what we have announced is more than $1 billion in investments to make universal childcare a reality across these 5 boroughs. We are now going to be able to fix 3K. We are going to be able to deliver 2Care universally across the city over the next 4 years. And we are going to be able to make it easier to raise a family in a city where today it's a good deal if you can get $22,500 a year for childcare. Those days are now coming to an end, and the two of us are firmly committed in fulfilling this commitment to New Yorkers and making this a reality.
All right, guys, we're a little tight on time. We're going to take on-topic questions. Please be respectful of your colleagues and stick to one question without follow-ups. Go ahead, Marcia.
Actually, I have a question for each one of you. Governor, I wonder if you could tell us what effect the loss of federal aid to child care from the federal government is going to have on this program, but also your ability to close the budget.
No, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, you get a letter one day, 2 days ago, that says that the federal government is taking away $3.6 billion from essential child care programs as well as social services. Why? Because this state happens to have a Democratic governor. I mean, that is basically what they have said, telegraphing that they're coming after Democratic governors, 5 of us, for no reason at all. And I want them to know this, that you may think you're punishing me as a Democrat, but this is a county program. We are simply the pass-through. The money goes to providers selected by the counties. They run this. And I would think that the 47 of our 62 counties that are deemed red have Republican governance ought to be raising their voices because these are their constituents. It's not me. It is the people all over this state. But I take such offense to this war on children. Think about it. What were we talking about in November, right before Thanksgiving, that they will not feed our kids. Stop feeding our kids with the SNAP program. Then they're saying we're stopping vaccinating kids because we don't care about their health. We're stopping their parents from being able to provide health insurance that they can afford. And now they're trying to take away our child care program. This will not affect these commitments here today. We're looking at our litigation strategies. They have asked for us within literally 2 weeks to provide volumes of information that is in the 62 counties. They're asking for personal identifying information about people who benefit from these programs, as well as their Social Security numbers. So they're on a fishing expedition and are saying if we don't give them all this information, which is absolutely impossible to collect, and if we were going to do it, impossible, that if we don't do this in a matter of days, a week and a half, that this program will be shut down. So we've been successful in court before. It's a shame that everything we do has to start with a call to my lawyer and say one more lawsuit that we have to file, but this is the world under Donald Trump. So we're going to fight back, and it's not going to affect this program.
Mr. Mayor, I wonder if I could ask you how many two care seats will be available this year, and have you identified the high needs districts that are going to be getting the first ones?
So we are anticipating being able to serve around 2,000 children in this city this fall. And that is going to continue to expand each and every year until we are serving each and every 2-year-old across the city. And we are going to be in sustained conversations with parents, with childcare providers, as we map out the logistics of the phase-in. And the beautiful thing about this is that every parent knows that we are going to be able to deliver this for every single child across New York City. 2Care will be a reality by the end of this first term.
Bernadette.
Governor, so this is going to cost $1.7 billion just for the 2-year investment investments that you already announced. How are you going to pay for this without new taxes? Is that also on the table, potentially also after you get reelected? And is there enough money to give the new mayor his free bus program?
Well, we're focused on this today. And also, we're announcing our budget on the 20th of January. So you'll be able to see the sources of our revenues. I will say this, that we have managed our finances quite well. We have been smart about setting aside money to be able to fund some of my ambitious plans, but within our means. And certainly, we keep an eye on the revenues that only come to light at the end of the year, which is the bonuses, the taxation on bonuses from Wall Street, and you calculate all that in. So we feel very confident that we can afford this program. Again, this is $4.5 billion. Much of it already been committed, but 1.7 in new dollars. And so we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Are corporate taxes
No,
possible for the
Bernadette.
We're not doing it.
Governor?
Does this make it more or less likely you're gonna fund free buses? We see he got one
We're
win.
on topic today,
He
Jason. I know
got-
you came in late. We're
This
on
is
topic today.
He got one win here.
Follow up to mine.
He's,
Well,
the session just started. He already has a
Okay.
big win.
The answer is that's off topic to you and to you, because two of you asked the same question does not mean it.
What does this
Ask
say,
us
what
next
does
week.
This say about his success in Albany and your working relationship in the upcoming session?
Let me just say something. What this says is that the governor is firmly committed to making it easier to raise a family here in New York City. And the governor has said time and time again the importance of childcare. It was in the governor's State of the State last year about universal childcare. And there are many politicians where you may hear them say something and then you ask yourself how much it really means. Today, it's an illustration of exactly what it means. We're talking about a $1.2 billion investment in New York City to deliver universal childcare. And I can tell you, and as I told the governor just as we were walking down the stairs, there were people on that stage behind the governor, behind myself, who were crying because of the fight that they have put into this for so many years. And I'm so thankful that this is an announcement of what's possible when working people believe in the city they deserve and when we in power actually listen to it.
How much do you think needs to be spent on 3K? Where does it need to be spent to fix the issues that have been reported about? And also, how much do you think that 2K slots will cost over the next couple of years?
So I will give an answer to that. I also have Emmy Liss here, who's going to be leading up a lot of our incredible childcare work. We have seen that 3K has been out of reach for a number of New Yorkers in this city. I alluded to it earlier where I spoke about a family in Flatbush that would be offered a seat but find out the seat is in Astoria. So what the governor's commitment today also demonstrates is $100 million to fixing 3K specifically. The city will also be a partner in that effort. And then the first year of 2Care is going to be around $75 million as we roll that out for about 2,000 children across the city. The second year will be about $425 million. And having the state's partnership and commitment, it means that we can, in fact, deliver excellent level of care, because this is not just a commitment to the children, it's also a commitment to building up the infrastructure to deliver this to those children.
All right, Kayla, go ahead.
Yeah, on 2Care specifically, are we looking at a contracted program? You mentioned the home-based daycares. Are we also going to see some of the early childhood centers used? So physically, what is that going to look like? And on the new investments in vouchers, New York City, our wait list has been closed. Families have been languishing on it. Is that something that can reopen with these new investments?
So I'll ask Emmy to come up for the first question and the specificity of it.
Sure. So on the 2Care program, our intention is to work, as the mayor said, closely in partnership with child care providers and home-based providers. And that will be built initially through an expansion of our contracted system, which today does include both center-based providers and home-based providers alike. And we'll go deeper, particularly as we try to serve more toddlers in the settings where families have a preference to be.
Great. Laura, last question.
Oh, on the contract on the vouchers.
Oh, sorry, yep, give her
for
a
the
go.
governor.
The question on the vouchers
Will New York City be able to reopen its wait list and take families off that wait list with these new investments?
ultimately they will. I just don't know whether this amount of money is going to be the catalyst for doing that right now. We don't want anyone waiting on a wait list. That's why literally when our budget was already done last year and we found that the city had miscalculated quite a bit on what the needs were, that I think we came up with $400 million last year, which was quite extraordinary. So we ended up going from $500 million commitment to $500 million plus the 400. I think we were in for $900 million last year. So I will say this, I just don't know the size of the backlog and what it's going to take to eradicate that. But the goal is no more backlogs, ultimately.
Laura, last question. Laura, look, please, excuse me, Masha. Laura, it's Laura's question, please.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sorry, it's Laura's question.
Could we get numbers for how much you estimate the care program would cost in years 3 and 4, as well as do you think that the program can be funded through existing state revenues beyond this coming fiscal year, FY 27 through FY 28, 29, 30, or is it just for this current coming fiscal year that it would be funded with existing state revenue?
I will tell you, it's rather extraordinary for a governor to commit even the next year based on the uncertainty that is being unleashed in normal life, but also with the Trump administration. So we're committed to this in the long run. I just can't tell you what the costs are going to be at that time. I need to get the money that the Trump administration is obligated to do, that's been authorized by Congress, that they're ignoring. I need to get that turned back on, as well as look at other areas where they're assaulting us. So for me to project 3 and 4 years down the road is asking quite a bit. But we're committed to making this fully universal for the entire state. That is our objective.
How are you going to choose the counties outside? Governor, what about the rest of the state? Governor, how are you going to choose the counties that are going to have this pilot program?
We'll announce it next week, okay?
Mr. Mayor, why are you excluding access to established news organizations?
We're all here.